Hey, thrift haul time. I have things from the past 2 or 3 weeks, and I am sitting on my front porch, so you're gonna hear some background traffic. Sorry about that. But my geraniums are so beautiful that I just had to come out here where my geraniums are on my front steps. And here's a tip if you don't know it. Guess which blooms are natural blooms and which blooms are fake. I had, when I got my 4th of July summer decor out, I had a couple of bundles of these geraniums that look pretty darn good. I think they came from Hobby Lobby. Anyway, I got to thinking about how my geraniums, I have added some blooming stuff. I'll try to insert a picture of what I'm talking about, stuff to help it bloom more. But I didn't do that until just like 3 or 4 days ago. So I decided I would put some fake ones in there to help it along. And I think they look adorable, and there's no way you can tell the difference, especially like from the street. I mean, if you get really close, you might could tell the difference. But I don't know, they're pretty convincing. Anyway, I've got Americana things. We went to Bryson City and Murphy, North Carolina. Where did I go? What thrift stores did I go to in North Carolina? I went to Murphy. And I found some really special things there. And then I have done some other local thrifting. Now, when we drive through Chattanooga, McCade bookstore is a frequent stop. Not every time, but just about every time we drive through Chattanooga, we go to McCade because you can find things like, this book was $2. It is full, and because it was only $2, and I don't feel like it's a limited edition or anything like that, it's full of art that can be framed. Now let me get to somewhere. Like, look at this landscape, how beautiful. I don't mind when it's a low price, and the wind's blowing. When it's a low price and it's not a limited edition kind of valuable book, I don't mind sacrificing it. For $2, I could get dozens of things to frame, and just all kinds of things, good sized, like good sized things. Some of these are precious. Anyway, that's a trick for prints. I already have a book that is sentimental to me, that is Norman Rockwell's America, but for $2, now I've got one that, and they're not rare, they're not hard to find. Now I've got one that I wouldn't mind cutting some things out to frame. I've always loved that one. Look how she's up on her tippy toes signing her marriage license. I think that's so cute. Okay, so the other things, I'll go ahead and the things that I got in the Chattanooga, Bryson City, North Carolina area. Let's see. This one just got stuck in there. It says Watertown Lifetime Wear, and it's melamine, but I love this shade of pink, and I have a few things in this soft shade of pink that I like to gather together in its brethren, sisterin, like items, because I don't have many of them, so I like to gather them together. And I do have a future idea for using all these pink things together. This was it's neither rare nor that special, but it's a very well made little tiny bag that has sewing notions, thread, buttons, little tiny scissors and such, pins. I thought it was sweet, and I need a little one to carry with me on trips like the trip we were on. I had been looking for just a little bag, and I don't really like the plasticky cosmetic bags. Like, I subscribed to Ipsy for a while, and they send you a bag every month, a little plasticky bag, which I don't love those as much as those. Those are softer and I like them better, so that's that. This was a little bitty Bible that I don't remember where it came from, but and I don't remember the date. I don't know if it's terribly old, but it's a little bit old. You can see some cute, and it's free. Most thrift stores that I shop in will give Bibles away for free, and I always look to see if there is some kind of very old falling apart Bible that I can rescue, or something unique and tiny that I have never collected before, because I do stack them up and display them. They're very cute. This primitive antique for $5. Now, it's intended to be, this came from Logan's Run in Murphy, North Carolina. I want you to see the little nails. I love the little nails. See how it gets dark around the nails? I always think that's so special. I already have a copper match dispenser. This is for matches, like wooden striking matches. You could put the big box in there and then they come out at the bottom, you know. But I have a different idea for this one. I would like to put other little tiny things out the top and in the bottom, and it does have a hole, if you can see that or not. It does have a hole that it could be put on the wall, or it could just sit on a shelf, but it's very sweet. And I like when I'm somewhere else, I like, rather than getting just tons of big stuff, it's good to find special little things to have as a memento. 1,000 times I'd rather have that than, you know, a mug or a souvenir kind of thing, you know, that says I was there at so-and-so place. I'd rather just get a little something vintage at an antique shop or something like that. These, 2 for $2, so $1 a piece for these, and I think these are really pretty under candlesticks, under small things. You know, you'd be surprised how much dimension and texture a little something like this adds. Even under a cloche, like inside the cloche, under the things that you're displaying in the cloche, that would be beautiful. I like those. Kind of saving the best for last. I don't know if you can see in my box very well or not. Look at this. This came from, we did stop at one thrift store, an America's thrift store in Chattanooga, for $1.99. This set of 2, I guess they're tea towels. They're too big to be a placemat, and they're not perfect, but for $1 each. The vintage sweetness of these is just precious, and I feel like they're ideal to display with 4th of July things, because they've got the red and they've got the light blue with the blue trim, you know, the blue border. And I do feel these are authentically quite old. 1950s, 40s, 50s, I don't know. Okay, my favorite thing that came from Bryson City was this Atware bowl, and I did pay $18. You can see I don't see any chips on it. I do see a little tiny flea bite, the teeniest, tiniest little flea bite that's already stained and dark inside it, and it has the perfect amount of crazing. See how pretty that crazing is? And it's all over. Oh, there's another flea bite, which, if you've heard me say this before, I'm not mad at that. That just makes it look like it is an authentic antique. It has lived some lives. It's seen some wear. This is probably the perfect size to have scrambled eggs. To have cracked a bunch of eggs and scrambled them right up. That is precious, and I need to be so careful with that. At that same antique store in downtown Bryson City, it's in the Bennett Drug Building. I'll insert a little shot of the proprietors. Had a good conversation with the proprietor. Oh, this came from, it's a nutmeg grinder. I'm distracted because I don't think that people are looking at the front of my house as they're going past. Maybe they are. And I really don't care that much. It's a public street. I don't care. But when they go past and they slow down, it makes me look because I don't know why they're slowing down. And I do know a lot of people, and sometimes if people see me outside, they'll stop by and holler, or they'll say, hey. Okay, nutmeg grater, $6 copper, and I think it is the sweetest. Look how it has the little lid. See the little hinged lid? That's so precious. That's good. That's so good. Okay, and then back to Bennett's. This whole box was sitting at the back of the store, like right by the back door, on a funny little counter. And box of flatware, $5. I thought, that sounds like it means the whole box. But I asked anyway when I was up there buying my bowl. I said, you've got a box back there that says box of flatware, $5. Does you really mean for the whole box? And he said, yeah, I'm just ready to let those go. Okay, nobody else might care. And I'll let you see what all is in this box. I mean, what I cared about were 19, if my great-grandmother didn't have this exact pattern, it was sure very, very close, very similar. And I can taste, I can taste that in my mouth right now. Just looking at it, I know how that tastes, because this is how hers looked. This was about how tarnished they were. These were her everyday. I spent summers, you know, at least a week at a time in the summer growing up. My mother's mother passed when my mother was 18. So my great-grandmother on that side was my grandmother. And she's very precious to me, and I loved spending time with her. She taught me all kinds of things like sewing on a button and how to braid hair, and I'm getting all emotional. Anyway, I loved her. Named my first child, Lauren Emmeline, is named after Martha Emmeline. So there's 18 of these, and they're just precious, and I might have paid $10 for that little handful because they evoked such a strong memory for me. I mean, when I looked at them, my heart jumped up just a little bit because I hadn't thought of these. Now my sisters can tell me. Lisa, Lana, can y'all tell me if that's the pattern that was at Grandma Wright's house? Maybe it is, but if it's not, it's similar. And there's other random good pieces, and then there's some that are absolutely not worth anything. You know, not worth anything. Oh, I could give these to Olivia, who has no butter knives. I learned when I was at her house for Isaac's first birthday. I was fixing some food, and I said, honey, where are your butter knives? And she goes, I don't have any. I was like, a child of mine that doesn't have enough butter knives? I'm on that. So I did find her some others. And here comes somebody coming down my street at about 60 miles an hour. Speed limit's 20. Why? Why are people that stupid? If I was closer, like halfway down my driveway, I would holler at them. I'd say, hey, slow down. Because I do that. And Ben says, honey, you're going to get me beat up. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not going to get anybody beat up. I'm officially a grandmother times 6. And if there's young people that don't have good enough sense to slow down, I'm going to help them have good enough sense to slow down. Oh, and time out for another funny story. At Hobby Lobby this week, a few days ago, I'm at the register. I just ran in and ran out, bought one little thing that was $4 and some change, and I had the exact change, so I laid it on the counter to pay for my item. Precious little girl. She looked like she was just barely 17 or 18. I don't think she was any older than that, but she said that'll be $4.32, whatever it was. So I counted out the exact change and I put it on the counter, and she couldn't pick it up. I don't know what the issue is. Her fingernails were in the way, or I don't know. She couldn't. I said, well, you know, you could just slide that towards you and just slide it off the end into your hand. Well, instead of slide it toward her, she slid it toward the rack that holds the plastic bags. And she went, oh, a nickel fell down in that hole. I'll never be able to reach that. You got another nickel? like, wait a minute. I didn't drop it. But I was in a mood. I didn't feel well that day. And I had gone to get the little piece of fabric just because I felt like it would encourage me to do something creative. And it was red ticking stripe. You'll see it in a future video. So I wasn't in the mood to argue, so I just reached in and gave her another nickel, and I was thinking, she's not understanding that big stores like that have a margin for things that are employee error or just whatever. Even if I had been the one that dropped in there, caused it to fall in there, you know, it's no big deal. 5 cents is not going to affect me at all, but something in me was just like, this is wrong, but I don't have the strength to explain it to her. All I said was, you know, it looks like they would give y'all a little cup of spare change in cases like this, you know, when things get dropped in there. I should have said, when an employee drops it and the customer does it, you don't ask the customer to pay again. I mean, it's just 5 cents. Anyway, comment if you think that was unusual, or if I'm just crazy. Maybe I was just in a mood that day, but I don't know. Okay, so I think that covers all the things that I got while I was out of town. And these other things I have found since that time. Okay, a little while back, you saw that I found a bread knife, some kind of serrated knife that has this Corningware flower design on it. Well, that same thrift store had the two-tine fork with that same thing. So I'm going to add this to that where I have that displayed. And for Olivia Grace, my daughter that didn't have enough butter knives, I found you some Mikasa butter knives and forks. These are good. These are good. They're heavy. They're nice. They're so pretty. Well, one's not Mikasa. Most of them are that pattern there. See that? And I think I paid $1 each for these. Not sure if it was $1 or 50 cents, but wasn't much. And when I learned my child didn't have enough butter knives or any, she had not one butter knife. I'm like, how did you have the massive bridal showers that you had and not come away with any butter knives? I don't know. But anyway, those are for her. Add into that box for the moment. Okay, this I thought was very Americana colors. This is the lid. It's just on the bottom. And God love it. I'm going to paint over that. Please forgive me if this kind of decor is special to you. Please forgive me. It's not special to me. I'm not loving it, and I have a better idea for it. So this is going to get painted over, sanded off, something. But it's not the bears, and they're just, I don't love their faces for one thing, and it's just not my style. I just don't care for it, and that's okay. You can like lots of things, but you don't have to like everything. Doesn't mean that you think anybody who does like it is less than or weird or anything. And this would probably be adorable set up in a vignette somewhere. It probably would be just like it is, but I have a better idea for it. So better for me, I'll say. How about I put my valuable bowl in there? There we go. Okay, today, no, not today. I won't do it today yet. Let's see. Oh, this, I'm not sure where the tag is. I think I paid something like $5.99. It's a little like a baby quilt, or maybe a lap quilt or crib size quilt. I paid $6.99, but it came from Downtown Rescue Mission, and I always get 20% off every day because I'm 55 and older. I'm 50. How old am I? I think I'm 57. Might be 50. I was born in 1967. Somebody do the math. I never know how old I am exactly. I know about how old I am. Look at this fabric. You see the pattern on that? I think that's so sweet. And I don't think it's as old as like the 40s or 50s. It looks to me like fabrics that I grew up with like in the early 70s, but it's awfully sweet. Maybe 60s. Look at the rockets. It's got a few little childish like fabrics. Excuse me, walk yourself through there, knock me over. Okay, she's thrilled with the freedom that she's experiencing right now because I'm out here and I'm allowing her to go in and out. She'll keep herself away from the street because she makes people slam on their brakes. And one time somebody slammed on their brakes and cussed out my son-in-law. Said, "Is this your dog?" And he's like, "Well, yeah." I mean, it wasn't his dog, but he, you know, it's his family here. And they're like, "Your dadgum dog!" Lots of colorful language, and I'm sorry about that, Ryan. It's when Ryan and Libby were living with us, so, you know, I guess he felt responsible. I don't know what this garment is. It's been so long. I paid $2.29 for it. What is it? Oh, it's some really cute tie-dye. I don't know. Soft. Very soft. $2.29. Okay, now, today, my mother-in-law, Sue, had a doctor appointment, and it was early in the morning, and we got that done quickly. We were in and out of there in like 20 minutes. That's the record. That's the record for a doctor visit. I'm talking about from the time we pulled up to the time we were backing out. 20 minutes. Okay. So, we thrifted together today, and as usual, she wanted to purchase the things I found, and I always tell her she doesn't have to do that, but she loves to go get out with me and have fun, and she's always so generous, you know, to return the favor of me driving her to her doctor's office. She thinks it's also something she wants to do, and so she purchases my thrift finds on the days that we thrift together, and I think that's extremely generous. Thank you, Sue. Okay. This was 50 cents, and I think it's old. Something about the color of it and the way it's woven. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was made last year in China. I don't know. But it has the look of something vintage to me. And sometimes that's really all that matters. If it has the look of something vintage and it's going to blend beautifully with your other things that truly are vintage, go with it. That's good, I say. All right. So I found that basket, and I think she charged me $1 for this one. And this one I liked for its shape and because I've been dying to paint a basket in a certain way. And you'll see that later. I'm going to do another Americana thrift flips. I've got, all I have to do is the narration, the voiceover on the third cottagecore, cottage style thrift flips. About got that one ready. And also just photography type home tour, not live video walking over through every corner of my house, although it's almost ready to do that because I've really been working hard in my house. This is neither vintage nor old, but I liked it, and orange tags, $2. Orange tags were 25% off today at this particular thrift store, and I can never remember the name of it. Care? It's in Gunnersville across from Wendy's. If you're local, you know what I'm talking about. And I find good stuff. That's where I found the pig cutting board for like $2 or $3. Good stuff. So that's where the baskets came from. Everything in this, and they had a few. I have a lot of little American flags, but I like to tea stain them, coffee stain them. Anyway, make them look antique. And there's some really short ones and some longer ones, but I like to use them all around during the summer months because I'm very patriotic. I do have a flag out here on my front porch, and when they're like 20 cents a piece, you know, that's a good thing. And I like to support my thrift stores anyway. Oh, here's the thing, the Care Center thrift store. Can you see the logo? They're very sweet in there. I like them a lot. Okay, this was $4, and when I saw it, it was way up high on the high shelf. It was not super easy to reach, but I reached it because it's got just enough wear. Look at the little distressed, naturally worn corners and edges. Okay, This deserves to be full of hydrangeas. I wish I had some real hydrangeas, but I may resort to getting some from Hobby Lobby, and they would, you know, and then they would last forever. But they need to be white and maybe light blue mixed in. I don't know, but this deserves, I'm sure it's a magazine rack, but it deserves to have hydrangeas in it for this summer. No joke, it really deserves it. Okay, other things I found today that I found very unique. What in the world do you think this is? You'll never guess what this is made of. I would have never guessed. Everything at the Home Place Thrift Store is half price on Fridays and Saturdays. So everything that's marked 2, I paid 1. Okay, I'm gonna let you see what this looks like on this side. And it's being hung together with some safety pins, which I'll do better than that. I'll stitch that right up, maybe. Do you see that that's old bottle caps? For the love, this was created by a granny who lived through the Depression era. You don't throw anything away, and on top of that, you do some beautiful handmade things. I love the idea of having this out in the summer with my Americana vintage things and all these little tiny hand crocheted things. They've got cork put inside each bottle cap, but it's old bottle caps. If one is loose, I will take it off and let you know what type of bottle cap. Oh, it's got a bottle cap missing out of that one. Oh well, I've got some bottle caps. My guys are root beer and non-alcoholic beer drinkers. Ben said he got in too much trouble drinking, so by the time he was legal age to drink, he had already made a covenant with the Lord that he would never drink again. So he drinks non-alcoholic beer, and we occasionally buy is it Stewart's brand? Cream sodas and root beer kind of things that have caps, and the caps fall in the little thing that catches it on my bottle opener. So I can replace that. It may not be the same shape, I don't know, or size. Isn't that precious? Okay, I thought this was a good deal. They're wood apples, primitive decor wood apples. That's a good size bag. Marked 4, I paid 2. I think that's amazing. I think that's awesome. This is actually is marked 3, so I paid $1.50. This is an infinity scarf, but I'm totally using it. It's kind of like an an antique color. So I'm going to use this for sure to be part of some vintage kind of display, Americana 4th of July display. It's too hot in Alabama to wear this for real anytime in July. No ma'am, that's too hot. I'd have to go to Alaska to feel like I could use that. Okay, in July. I just couldn't. Okay, somebody, darling viewer friends, somebody tell me what you think came in this bottle. For 75 cents, half of 75 cents. Get yourself over here right now. Come back here. Here she comes trotting like a pot-bellied pig. Lord, I try to feed her less. She just got a wobble about it. And you too. But it was Ella that was trying to go to the street. Okay, I feel like this could have been Crisco oil. What do you think? Please tell me what you think. You see the little starbursts? And it's got some mysterious gunk in there. I don't know what is. But and then it's got this plastic lid, so it's not like the oldest of old, but they made plastic in the 50s and probably in the 40s. I don't know how old it is, maybe 60s or 70s, but it's something, and I like it, and I think even if I didn't use the cap with it, it would look awfully pretty gathered with my other vintage Clorox and snuff and those other kinds of brown glassware. I think that would be very pretty. I hope somebody knows what it is, because I'm so curious. Okay, these tea towels, 75 cents, but half of that, and they probably are the type that you can now buy in Walmart craft department, but They're just plain white, good for using, good for display, staging. They're awfully pretty. But even little plain things like this are so precious. Just draped over the edge of a basket. Now this, see, I love the texture of that. See how that's been washed and it's soft and it's kind of bunching up at the edges. That's just good. That's just some good stuff right there. Okay, crayons for darling babies. Uncle Sam ornament, he'll get antiqued. He's kind of primitive already, but I think if I darken him up and maybe sand him down and distress him a little, I'll like him even more. What was he, $1, but half price, 50 cents. Uncle Sam. Let's see. This fruitcake. What? Who? Shirley Jean fruitcake. Mark II, I paid $1. I don't think it's exceptionally old, but I don't see a barcode, which tells me that it's pretty old if it's pre-barcode. So maybe, you know, 70s, 60s. I don't know, but it's good colors to go with my Americana displays. I like that. It says vintage. I'm not sure how old it is. Marked $1, I paid 50 cents. But I might actually use that. That's really good. That's still in great shape, but it kind of does have a vintage look, so it will look good. Like I said, it doesn't actually have to be vintage to go perfectly with your primitive and vintage and antique other things grouped together with it. It helps fill out your display and give a lot of interest. I'm a maximalist. I love to see things grouped together. It's a feast for my eyes. I enjoy the heck out of it. I'm not like my son who tells, oh, you know, a while back when I cleaned off all the Christmas decor off my mantle and I only had one thing up there before I put my other seasonal decor on there, he walked past and goes, wow, that's the best your mantle has ever looked. Like, hush your mouth. Okay. Do y'all think this, for marked $1, I paid 50 cents. Do y'all think this is one of those things that you put dry spaghetti in to see 1 serving, 2 serving, 3 servings, 4 servings? It's unique, and I have a little collection, a little crock with unique wood utensils in it, and that's where this is going to go. My dog. My dog, my dog, my dog. Okay, this, I don't know what is. $0.75, and I paid half of that, and it says Western Germany on it. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'm guessing water and little flower buds went in this. So unique. I've not seen anything like that before, so that's why I picked that up. These, it says Freedom for All. I don't necessarily like the writing on it, so I might turn it around, and I don't like the raffia on it, but these are good basic elements that look kind of primitive, and I have an idea for how these can accentuate a specific thing. I love that the wire is twisted up on top. See that? It's good. It's really good. What did I pay? Half of $1.50. An egg separator from the Lillian Vernon Corporation. Now, I haven't seen a Lillian Vernon catalog in ever so long, but you know, you crack your egg in there and pour it, and the white comes out and the yellow remains. So when you need to do an angel food cake or something that you only need the whites, or meringue that you would whip, I think it's actually got some age on it because it has the crazing on the inside, which I love, crazing, and it looks like the old vintage, like the mixing bowl that I got, the yellowware. This also looked to me like yellowware. It isn't. It's modern, but it looks like vintage. And I paid half of 75 cents, and I think it's precious. I love that it's a neutral color. I love that it has the little steps on it. And it says Alabama edition. And the publishing date is 1924. It says Health, Turner Collins. Now, okay, when I opened the first one, I was like, some kid went to town with a purple crayon in here. But it still does have little doodles from long ago. It's, look, just look at that. Just look at that. See that? That's precious. Okay, I'm done. That's all there is. I should be published. My husband and my son just stepped out onto the porch, and I don't know how long they've been sitting there watching me, standing there. He's camera shy. He says, we're wanting to go to lunch, so I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you're all blessed. I hope you have a fun time hunting for special things, not just for the sake of buying it and storing it. Ben and I had this conversation yesterday, but for collecting special things, and for the things that I bring in, I have a personal goal of trying to release and let go and share as many items as I bring in. I want to let go of the things that are not special anymore or never have been very special, but could be of use to someone else. And that way we don't clog our homes up, and we're a flowing river. We're not a stagnant pond where things come in and never come out. We want to be a flowing river, and that's our motto of the day. Let's be a flowing river. Bless you in Jesus' name.